Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Will, and we're going live a little early. Before I get some guests in, I'm going to um, go ahead and read some things that are coming up from the Midas Touch because there's an interesting New York Times report I want to go over with all you guys. So, um, if you get the Midas Touch, they do today's politics, and then that way they show they break down the day. But this was interesting. So during the cabinet meeting, Trump's cabinet meeting, the New York Times are reporting there was an argument between members of Trump's cabinet and Elon Musk during their recent meeting to hash things out. The report says that Marco Rubio was privately furious with Musk for weeks, ever since his Doge team effectively shuttered the entire agency that was supposedly under Mr. Rubio's control, USAID, and was ready to air his grievance against Musk along with the others. Musk was criticizing members of the cabinet in the meeting for not firing enough employees. Rubio reportedly snapped and noted that 1,500 employees in his department accepted Musk buyouts and left. He then asked Musk if he wanted him to hire them back so he could make a show of publicly firing them. Musk responded that it wasn't good enough. He said that Rubio was only, quote, useful to do TV appearances and was terrible at his job. Okay. And Trump sat back and he was watching a tennis match. After a while, Trump finally interrupted the argument and defended Rubio, saying that he was doing a great job with a lot of traveling and he has a lot on his plate. Musk also went after Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and why he hasn't fired enough people. And Howard Lutnick chimed in to back Musk. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick chimed in to back Musk. Duffy complained that young staffers with Doge wanted him to fire air traffic controllers. What am I supposed to do? I have multiple plane crashes to deal with now, and you people want me to fire air traffic controllers? An NBC reporter in the Oval Office today tried to ask Trump about this reported conflict between Musk and Rubio. Trump snapped, "No one clashed, I was there. You're just a troublemaker, and you're just supposed to ask that question. Are we supposed to be talking about the World Cup?" And then he angrily ended the press conference. Mike Johnson was asked on Fox, "What do you say to people who work for the VA who can't man the suicide hotline now because Musk fired them?" Mike Johnson, "Look, in Elon's defense, there's no playbook for what he's doing, so there could be some mishaps and mistakes along the way, but we do course correction immediately. Suicide control is course correction." Okay, whatever, dudes. Political reporting that Republican representatives have been making panic calls to the White House when they were blindsided by Musk's massive cuts to the VA. Lindsey Graham, it's a political malpractice not to consult Congress, and that's what you tend to do. VA Secretary Doug Collins, he's a great guy. We don't need to be reading memos in the paper about 20% cut at VA. Republican Representative Mike McCall asked about the cuts. "Geez, I worry because our veterans are hurting after Afghanistan. PTSD has gone way up. Suicide rates have gone up. Morale has gone way down. So I worry in a sense that I don't want to be a giant signal that we don't care about veterans." Yeah, they don't. Johnson was also asked by his members getting yelled at their town halls. The problem is they're being ambushed by right now. They're being ambushed right now by, in many cases, paid protesters. That's their excuse. You got George Soros funding groups. I don't know what's going on here. Wow, that was fun. And Trump asked some people could expect prices to go up in tariffs. There will be some disservice, a little bit of disservice. Now, the jobs report came in lower than expected, down 1,500 points after the last 30 days. Negative economic growth was desperately to spin the bad news like crazy. So these are some of the things going on. If you want to read them, it's in the Midas Touch in their political usually on Substack. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live. I already got a warning that there's some stuff that I'm saying that is not legal, so I guess I'm being already going after. I'm going to bring in a couple of guests. I just want to go over, I wanted to read a couple of subjects here. Also, we're going to talk about tariffs. We're going to talk about some other stuff. And I also want to talk about something that I'm dealing with some people concerning a very sensitive question about race. So let us move forward here, and let's see who's available here to talk, and we'll pick it up from there, and we'll see what we got overall. All right, C's here. JD's here, and we'll start there.
Hi, Will. How you doing?
Doing okay. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Happy Friday to you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You there, Will? I guess he's having technical. Oh,
bad.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I'm like, you might be having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I did. It was brought on by myself.
Right.
Evening. How you doing?
Hanging in there. And getting everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I see that. And I already got a warning about restrictions, so I don't know. I guess I pissed off some people already just by reading Midas Touch. So
that's weird.
But yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I Sue, Jules, welcome. So the one thing I was reading here is thing about Elon Musk. I guess he's running the government. What I mean, I can't. He is running the government big time right now.
You must be talking about that meeting that when Trump had a meeting with his cabinet members and mentioned something about that, that Elon Musk doesn't have the power to terminate anybody or recommend anybody, but it's only the department heads. But if they don't do it, then he will. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Well, I mean, one of the things that Secretary of Transportation said is people are the young guys are telling him to fire air traffic controllers.
That just doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, it doesn't make. Well, the problem is you got people who are don't have any idea. They have no idea what's going on, and so they just see we need to get rid of people because they don't think they're important. They don't know how government works, and that's the thing. And then they're trying to gaslight us about the economy. I saw here a note. Fox host Maria Bartiromo was saying we could see a recession, but it would be Biden's recession.
Oh, okay. Get the hell out of here with that.
Yeah, and then
he's no longer in office though. That's on Trump. That's his responsibility.
Oh, I know. It's just insane what's going on. I mean, I can't because that's what the excuse. I mean, you saw the thing about eggs during the doing the thing. Hey, JD, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right. Just thought I'd pop in this Friday. Thanks for guys joining me.
Hi,
and just going over. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying hi.
I'm just saying hi, John.
All right. So, Auntie Kilgore, let's see here. Auntie Killmonger was telling me that I'm already being reported. So I must have pissed off people already. Nah, that didn't take long.
Probably a tanky.
Probably what?
A tanky.
Yeah, pretty much. Hi, Auntie. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I was saying be careful because if you get that, and if you don't, sometimes if you don't restart, they'll ban your live access for like 7 days. It happened to me.
Yeah, they did that to Mike.
And hey, I mean, Temptation, you're from Chicago, so am I.
Happy Friday.
Oh, same to you. I heard you on Mike's show, and I think you're the one from Chicago, right?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Uh-huh.
Me too.
All right. South side.
No, I'm not South Side though, but hey, I love everybody.
I'm not mad at you.
Chicago's a beautiful city. I love Chicago. That's a great
Will,
city.
Did you tell her the story that happened on the last live where I had to snap on this troll?
Yeah, yeah, that guy was amazing because he was going after everyone because of I said something about the electoral college, and
Right.
then C basically he stepped on C saying that well I was representing her, and that was just it was over at that point. That didn't go well for him. Um,
And I said
but
he
what
did
can we
not
do?
want any of this Chicago smoke because that's not how we get down.
No.
Nope, not at all. Not
Thank
at
you.
all.
So, and South Carolina neighbor, I appreciate you. I'm here in Georgia, blue dots in red states. Um, so I want to let's kind of ask around what's bothering you. Auntie, you haven't been here in a while. What's going on for you? What are you thinking about today as we look at this Friday night?
I'm watching Rome fall. That's what I feel like.
Right.
Really? In what way?
Well, do you remember the game? What was it, dodgeball, when you were a kid and everybody threw balls from all different directions? You don't know where to defend yourself.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah, that's what it feels like here in this country because, we have the Heritage Foundation, we have the venture capitalists, we have the Christian nationalists, and we have MAGA. So it's like all of these things coming at one time at you, and it's like you don't know what to protect yourself from.
I think that's a good point. I think part of it is you have to start with yourself and your family, and then you can go from there.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's an yeah, because it's an upside down world. It's no, and that's what I was. I think that's part of the beef I'm having with that guy over
Yeah,
him
I know
saying,
Dolph. I know Dolph.
okay,
I'll get to the bottom of that for you. Don't worry.
yeah, because the thing about it is like what bothered me. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't care. We're all in this together. And the
Hmm.
point was, you can't go and hide. You can't go and hide from this. You can't say, "Well, we're out." No, it doesn't work like that. We
Hmm.
inherited this, and
Absolutely.
is it a good thing? Hell no. I know
Hmm.
that.
But can I give
And
you
but the
another
one
take
thing that
though,
go
if you
ahead.
don't mind?
No, go ahead.
It's not that anyone is going to hide. It's just at this point, all the warning, all the education, all everything that we've done since this man has came down that gold escalator, we've tried to warn people. We've tried to, like I said, educate people. And it's like, okay, it's not that personally that we're just me, myself, I'm not just giving up. But at this point, it's time for the people who got us in this mess. They're going to have to take some action to get us out. There won't be a movement. There will not be a movement until it starts hurting them. Because right now we're a small minority.
Yes.
That's what we're saying. We're not saying, well, we give up. We're just like, no, this is what you wanted. It's like if everybody got kids, don't touch that stove. It's hot. They're gonna go and they're gonna try to touch it anyway. They
Right.
gotta feel
Right.
that heat. They gotta feel that heat to know that that stove was
Oh,
hot and they should have touched it in the first place.
And they're
That's all we're
going to learn
saying.
today.
Yep, they're gonna
and I
learn.
yeah, I mean I get it. They're going to learn. The only thing is that for me is that at the same time they're doing that because I really don't want them around me because I don't think they will learn their lesson even if they burn their stove, hand on
I
the
don't
stove.
know now.
Personally, I think a lot of them would just jump on the stove, lay on it, if Trump told them that. Um,
True, true.
and my
But
point
then
is
while
that,
they're burning,
go
they're
ahead.
gonna want somebody to put them out. And what we're
Well,
saying
and
is you got to feel that heat a little bit. And what did we learn?
while they burn, they're going to blame Biden for it, so it won't matter.
You know what? I think at this point they're gonna. I mean, it'll fall on deaf ears and it'll be real hollow, because at this point there's nothing that they can honestly say that anybody is doing but MAGA and
Right.
Trump and Musk. Because from if I'm not mistaken, this will be the first time in over 80 years that Social Security payments can possibly be late.
Yeah, the
And
first time
that's when the
That's
and
crazy.
that's when the shit's going to hit the fan. Because
Absolutely.
Yes,
I
it
was
will.
reading earlier, like Republicans are like, politicians are going. Trump announces he's going to cut off 20% of the VA, and Republican politicians are going, "Hey, you might want to tell us what the fuck you're doing." And
Also,
it's like, what the hell? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and also remember, these people were going to those town halls because they wanted answers from their
Yes.
representatives. And Mike Johnson told them to stop doing them. So that also is not a good look on their side, because here we are missing, we're losing things, even though we voted for it. And we don't even have our representation here to explain it to us, even though
Right.
it was pretty shitty how they was explaining it. So now they're not showing up and they're not giving these people answers. So, this might be a good thing if we get to the midterms.
And the other thing you have to look too is that with that, I was reading through here, they're asking Mike Johnson about that, and he said they're literally their take is it's paid actors with George Soros, paid actors.
That means
And I'm like, oh. But see, that's some things that people love. They attach to themselves to it. They attach themselves
Because
to it.
they're the type of people that have to have somebody else to blame. So, I mean, at this point, like I said, like a certain demographic of people going out there kicking up a fuss is just a small ripple. It needs to be all those people.
So here's my question.
Go ahead, Judy.
So all those Republicans that were in those that were at those town halls that were all upset, how are those Republican voters going to feel hearing their representatives say that they're not who they are? Say that they're not actually people that are worried? Because all that shows the constituents is that the constituents don't matter. So
no, well, they never ran on any substance.
No,
they only ran on culture wars and support for Trump. And so the ironic thing about it is they're asking them to do their job. Hey, they are doing their job. They're supporting Trump and whatever he says. Isn't that what you voted me to come here for?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. I mean, they couldn't. All of a sudden, you want them to care about policy.
I've been on a few lives. I've honestly been on a few lives with MAGA. Yeah, when I can't control myself, I do ask a few questions because I usually just curse them out and I get really graphic. But
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, but I asked them. I'm like, he promised you guys all of this stuff on day one, right?
Right.
You guys are his priority. You're his people. He loves you. You're special, and all of the shit that he was saying. But if you notice, all of his EOs were to hurt someone else and not help you.
Right, because basically Trump had showed his card, though. I mean, he's already let the MAGA people know that he was all about getting their votes, and after that, he don't give a damn. It's like, now he's all about himself and his ego because he's a narcissist.
But, I mean, he told them that. He told them that, and they Trump-splained it, and they turned into these damn Trump whisperers and telling us what he really meant. This is the thing. A lot of them know, but it's an ego thing. And it's also just them, for once, in their minds, being on a winning team. So they're going to defend it. I mean, they're going to defend it to the end. But trust me, I've also been on a few lives where there have been quite a few Trump supporters got up there and they say, yeah, I voted for Trump and I feel like I've been bamboozled.
I mean, but the sad thing,
that's the decision they made. So they made their band. They had to lie in,
And that was the one thing that I understood what the whatever that gentleman's name, and I apologize, I get confused, said is that, I get it. I mean, 62% of Hispanics voted for Trump. 60% of vets voted for Trump. Okay? I get it. Trust me, that's a fact I cannot get my mind around, and I'm pissed to this day about that. It just angers me to no end. But I don't. But see, my point is that I can't do anything about it except do the best I can. No. And the only thing, I'll be honest, Auntie, that really angered me is that he said I'm trying to pass for white because I have a light-skinned Puerto Rican, and that.
You know what? I said, I do know him. I've known him on here for a few years. I will talk to him because I I'm not going to defend anybody because I only saw a little bit of what you showed me. But if you
Right.
saw the things that people actually say to him, you might be able to understand
No, I get it. I mean, because
yeah.
he's coming from a different angle. I totally get it. The things I get from people are ridiculous. I
Right.
get it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. But see, the point is, my point is that I don't want to deal with the past, and I get his point. I want to look to the future. Now, part of the plan is what you said, Annie. Those people got to get set on fire.
Yeah.
They got
Okay.
to lose their Social Security. They got to lose their Medicaid. They got to lose all that, and they have to understand that the only one that's going to save them is themselves.
Exactly.
They have to come to that realization on their
You
own.
always make that reference to the tiki torches and the pitchforks.
Right.
I mean, at this point, it's
Oh, there
coming.
won't be tiki torches. We're talking full blown, Frankenstein torch. And I'm bringing a tiki torch. I'm making a big one.
Yeah.
But I see Trucker T has arrived. How you doing, brother?
There he is.
Hey, what's going on now?
Sir,
Not
how you
much.
doing?
I'm good, JD. See Temptation. What's happening?
Yes. Good. Happy Friday.
It is. Hey, so I saw something that bothered me right before I got on, Will, and I just couldn't believe it. Right? We've got Mike Braun, our newly elected governor, doing town halls in Lake County. I think it's April 3rd.
That's Indiana, right?
And
Okay.
he's charging $100 to $1,000 in order for you to be able to attend.
You got to be kidding me.
I am not.
You know what?
I,
Crooks in higher places.
and that's after he gave himself a raise too.
Oh, I'm definitely done with them now. That's crazy.
This is insane. It's insanity. You want to hear?
Auntie,
You want to hear
Auntie,
something else?
oh, wait a minute. I want to drop this information. Auntie,
Yeah.
it was a video that was out, I think, yesterday where Elon Musk is trying to discontinue the building of the Obama's presidential library. Did you see that?
No, I
Yes.
didn't see that, but I saw that they were closing the Dirksen Federal Building.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's closing up a lot of federal buildings.
And you know what I don't understand is though why Elon Musk and Donald Trump is hating on Chicago, hating on Obama. I mean, because
It's a Democratic city, that's why. It's a blue city.
boy, they
That's,
just
that's why.
Yeah, Boston.
I mean, it's
Boston's
this,
next.
it's this us against them mentality. So they're doing everything they can to own the libs. Oh, but
What are they trying to do?
But I
Take
love-
Chicago or what?
Did you guys hear what happened today?
What happened?
No, ma'am.
About the big knockdown drag out arguments between Musk and Rubio and Musk and
Yeah, I was bringing that.
the guy
I started my
John
show with
something.
that. Yes, ma'am. I saw that.
Uh-huh.
It's ugly.
I
But
didn't
see,
catch
the thing
that.
about it
What do
is,
you expect when you have two narcissists and a whole bunch of other narcissists all together trying to be the stars of the show? This is going to get real ugly real soon. So, like I said, one thing is we have to learn to not just have knee-jerk reactions and kind of sit back and observe, even though it looks like everything's falling down around us. Sometimes you got to sit and give them enough rope, if you know what I mean.
but I
I mean,
think
that's all
Midas
we can
touch.
do at this point.
Yeah.
Ben Mycelis put something in on the Substack for Midas Touch, and I thought it was interesting. He says we need to, like what you said, Andy, we can't get take the bait for a lot of like culture stuff because they say stuff to piss us off. But we still have to hit them on the economy,
Right.
our rights, taking away everything from us, breaking the government, things that are practical, because they gaslight us over here while they're doing something over there. And the thing about they can't run away from is the economy. They can call it Biden's recession, whatever. It's not going to work. I'm looking here that a Fox Business analyst, Charles Payne, is concerned because Bank of America came out with credit card data and people aren't spending money. They're not going on trips. They're not going anywhere. They
No.
are not spending money. And why they're not spending money? Because they don't feel safe. Consumer confidence means you feel safe to spend money.
Absolutely.
And they don't, and they can see it. See, the problem with the perception is that MAGA makes most American people look stupid, but the majority of people in America know how this shit works. They can feel when things are right. I'm not going to buy a car because I don't know if I'm going to have a job. I'm not going to spend extra money if I need to save it to feed my family. So there won't be no vacations. There won't be any extra spending. And what happens is that economies
And then
falter.
think about this as well. They're losing a lot of tourism. I was listening to one of the premiers from, I forgot which one of the provinces or the territories that they were from. And they were saying that he was saying his constituents were calling, saying that they're like taking extra time at the grocery store to make sure that anything they buy isn't from America. They're canceling honeymoons in South Carolina, and they're canceling trips to the Grand Canyon and everything. So they're sticking to this.
Oh yeah, they are. So
Oh yeah.
Georgia just did a thing right before I come downstairs. I saw in the news where they passed a law that Trump and 18 other people who were caught up in the Georgia voting thing can get compensated for their legal bills.
Good grief.
No, I'm not surprised.
I lived in Georgia for about 3 years, and I was out there, like not too far from you, Will. And
Yes, ma'am.
I was down there when Stacey Abrams was running against Kemp. I believe it was for the first time. And I'm coming from a northern city, y'all. I don't know anything. I didn't know it was like that down there. And that commercial with him with the the pew pew slung over his shoulder, talking about
Yes.
he's given me the ick ever since then. So I mean, it's just that's the Confederacy. If you guys want to be truthful, this is the Confederacy, and they're running the Southern strategy to a T.
Wow.
The funny thing is that my son canvassed for Stacey Abrams that time. He walked all the streets of Macon for her. And always remember this, and always to this day, she lost a close election, but also Brian Kemp, who was Secretary of the State at the time, flushed out close to 100,000 voters right before the election. And that I've never forgotten. And so he's been solidified in. Now, the weird thing about Georgia is that around Atlanta, we're pretty blue, but we couldn't push through the bullshit in the last election. It was just tough. I don't know. This state is weird because I haven't run across a lot of shit you normally get because most people are friendly. And that's when I got here. It's just a weird dichotomy for it. It's like the politics don't match the majority of people. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's just the rich being the rich and the Republicans being Republicans. Can't get around it. Unfortunately, that's where we're at for that.
Yeah. And I mean, I can put it like this. I moved down there because I didn't want my son to go to high school up here. But yeah, I just couldn't take it anymore after a while. It wasn't, it was a culture shock, if anything else. And the politics down there is just like, it's like I'm looking at people like, how can you guys not see this shit? It's right in your faces. But, some people choose not to see because they don't want to be required to act.
Yeah, it's just, and the thing about it is like some stuff isn't getting through. I'm looking here at Georgia Recorder. They tried to put a DEI ban here in the state, and it died in the House in the state legislature, and so they're a weird dichotomy. I mean, the education system, like especially the upper education system, is really good here.
Yeah.
Honestly, my daughter graduated from Mercer University. The lower education counts where you're at.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to describe Georgia. It's not Alabama because part of the thing with Georgia is that
there's a lot of affluent parts. I think more so than Alabama. There's a lot of affluent parts in Georgia. So,
and also there's a lot of industry because they bring business in.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is still the center of the South, whether y'all don't like it or not. That's where industry starts and ends. Why do you think Sherman burned it to the ground during the Civil War? Because that's where everything was coming out. And it's still that way. But when you bring those people in, like myself, we come here, we come from other places, we don't look at it the same way. That's why a lot of the politics, especially around the wheel here in Atlanta, is blue. And they don't like it. And it's a tough fight. But it's not like living. I don't think I could live in Birmingham because there's nothing there to live for.
No.
Really. I like Atlanta because Atlanta is pretty diverse.
Yeah.
I mean, getting in Atlanta, there's a lot of nice stuff there. It's a great city to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I would die in Jackson, Birmingham. It's just really weird overall.
I mean, but you know
So
what?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And C Temptation can vouch for this. Everybody thinks that Illinois is blue. We're not. We're just one blue city in a red state.
Wow. Yep. I'm
Yeah,
down.
so I mean, it's
I mean,
the
from a
same thing.
geographical point of view, I mean, we're labeled as blue.
Yeah, because of one big blue city.
Yeah. I'm
And we
downstate
carry the
now.
rest of the state. So I kind of get it.
Hey, T, what are you talking about with Notre Dame? They're freezing hiring for what?
So everything. So today it was a big old news story. No, Trump sent them a letter because of their DEI practices and their stance. What they have, because they don't. Notre Dame never says, like, they don't conform to the norm, right? They always go outside of the box. So what they said was, okay, he wants to do that, not a problem. We will stop hiring for now, and we will have them, each department look at budget cuts, and they're going to create another program to pull in funding so that this never happens again. So they said they want to get in front of this thing.
Same thing. I work for a big teaching university here, and they did a hiring freeze too, and they've been sending out emails about, they're trying to figure out how to maneuver around all of this new stuff as well. So it's not just there; they're doing freezes everywhere at this point, which sucks because I was about to try to transfer to another department.
Okay, let's all call it what it is. The so-called DEI screaming by the far right Heritage Foundation is the new Jim Crow.
It equals. I mean,
they just polished it up.
Have you guys ever watched Chris Rufo?
No, I'm sorry, I don't hear the name.
Chris Rufo is the guy who made CRT and DEI the boogeyman.
Oh, for Heritage Foundation?
Yeah, he's the one that made it a boogeyman. So, I mean, this is why they believe that DEI equals black people just walking down the street and someone walks up to them and is like, hey, buddy, you want to be the CEO of this corporation? I mean, because that's exactly what they're thinking, not understanding that DEI, because it's actually DEIA. They leave the A off on purpose.
Wow.
It's diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. But they leave that A off because they don't want people to understand that DEI could be me as a middle-aged woman not being discriminated because I'm a middle-aged woman. It has nothing to do with color. It could be braille on a menu at a restaurant. It could be a wheelchair ramp for somebody, which this is just a little segue. I hope they kick Hot Wheels' ass out of that damn office because he's DEI. He's in a wheelchair. Get his ass out.
Here's the ironic thing. When the last Supreme Court went against Trump 5-4 for the USAID funding, it was the freeze funding, right? 5-4 decision, Amy Coney Barrett was on the side of the 5.
Yes.
And MAGA freaked out, and one of them said she was a DEI hire.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. But isn't it funny that anybody who goes against what it is that they think they should be doing, they're rhinos and DEI and things like that. Like Liz Cheney she's like the most Republicanist of Republicans I've seen. I mean, look at who her father is. But because I mean, she voted with him like over 90% of the time on everything. But because what she did with the committee and with the hearings and everything, now she's a rhino. And it's like, what does he have on all of these people that they are like lockstep the way they are? It befuddles me.
I thought one of the biggest example of this bullshit is Michelle Yu being forced to Congress to explain her remarks to Tom Homan, because she was just saying, the police chief said, we're not helping ICE because that's a civil thing.
Yeah.
They're not crimes. So don't look at us to help you. And then she backed him up, and so they dragged her into this hearing. Now, if you saw the hearing,
a nursing mom, you know what I'm saying? That was,
yeah.
I mean, this is, and this is how I say it. Most of these people, you have to remember, it's like, to me, and this is not an excuse, but these are the people who burn people alive for being witches. These are their descendants. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So it's like,
you're right on the point.
When you look at it like that, it's like, oh, well, yeah, what do you expect? Doesn't make it right, but what do you expect from these people?
But the thing, as I watched the hearing or the highlights, first of all, I thought the bowl cut went out in the 50s. What the fuck, Paul Gosar? What the hell was that? That was horrendous. But
I can only tolerate it in little spurts. It's like drinking liquor straight. I hate it. So
yeah,
I just like take a little taste and I got to run away.
I mean, that was like, did he, before the hearing, did someone just put a bowl in his head and they cut his bangs in the office? I mean, dear God. But the point was, what I thought the biggest flex she had, it was Ash Wednesday. Yeah. She showed up with a cross
with her ash.
Yeah, and I thought that was a flex to tell these guys, I'm really a Christian, Catholic. You guys are not. Because everything she said falls into the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah.
Everything that Jesus wants you to do for others, she was kind of saying. Well, and that's a true Christian. And the point was, I thought that was a flex because she butchered those people. And the worst thing was Byron Donald. Come on, dude. You're not intimidating her. First of all, she's from Boston. You ain't intimidate shit from Boston. No way. And when she stood up for all Bostonians and for us, regardless of who we are, I was impressed.
Yeah. See, what do you think? How did you think Brandon Johnson did on the stand or during his testimony?
You know what? I haven't really caught that. I'm sorry about that. I didn't catch that. Because I've been so busy trying to keep up what's going on with Trump and Elon Musk. Matter of fact.
She got a call. Have you guys seen the videos about the from Bostonians? And they were like, well.
Oh, those are great.
He was like, we don't like our neighbors, but we're not going to let anybody else pick on them.
Wow.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of it, and it's like they ask questions that they want a yes or no from questions that are not yes or no questions, and then when you don't answer, they attack. It's sickening. It's I'm disgusted with everything. Like I said, at this point, I'm just
not by yourself. You're definitely not by yourself. And
so I'm going to bring up another thing that really pisses me off. So I respect Al Green.
Absolutely.
Al Green did some good trouble.
Yeah.
He stood there and he knew what was going to happen. What I'm totally, absolutely still pissed off to this moment are the 10 Democrats that voted for censure him.
Yeah.
And what the fuck? If you want to send a message to the Republicans, you force every Republican to censure him, but you don't have one Democratic vote.
But I found something out. I found something out because everybody was pissed off. Like, well, why didn't the rest of the Democrats leave with him? They left it like that so it can look empty on the other side, because if they would have left, they would have filled those seats with Republican staffers, and then it would have looked like Democrats and Republicans were cheering for him.
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah, but see, I get. No, they didn't have to leave. I got what he did, okay, and I thought that was brave of him, and if them sitting there makes sense. What I'm
Yeah.
talking about is that afterwards, to participate in the punishment of him speaking the truth for
I was
some
more
reason
shocked with
because you want to protect
Moskowitz.
decorum is bullshit.
Moskowitz
In
really was the one
discussion.
that surprised me. I don't know too much about the other ones, but I
May
was
I
a little
add
surprised that
that
Moskowitz did it.
one of the people that voted to censure one of the Democrats was Marcy Kaptur, who has been in office since 1983. She was elected to that seat during the Reagan administration. Just to
That
put
made
that out
yeah,
there.
that was yeah. But then also you
Okay.
have to look at most of those people. I think the average age for a Democrat is like 60, 70 and over. And these are people who are used to dealing with regular Republicans, not these mouth frothing MAGA chuds. So it's like they're trying to play by a rule book that honestly got thrown out as far as I can recall, that rule book got thrown out with the Tea Party.
Well, but see, they still think they can do bipartisan with these people.
Yeah.
And you can't. You
No.
can't do it. And we're going to find that out in about a week
Yep.
when the
Budget,
budget comes up.
the continuing resolution. Yeah.
And the point is, if you look at it, someone made a good point, and I don't remember who did it, but I'm going to bring it up. There hasn't been a new budget for what, 3-4 years? 3 years? They keep continuing the same budget from the Biden years. This continuing resolution will be still the same Biden budget that they keep doing. And they don't know how to govern. They don't want to govern.
So they're
And
going to
that's
have the
go
same
ahead.
budget, and then they're going to bitch about waste, fraud, and abuse still.
And the thing is
I mean-
not, and then these people, I'm trying my best not to curse, but excuse my
Go ahead,
language.
curse. It's
These
me.
people
Fine.
are
Go
so
for it.
fucking illiterate. They are complaining. I've seen them on lives talking about I don't want my tax dollars going towards a transgender mouse. You stupid motherfuckers. It's transgenic. These are transgenic mice that they do medical research on to find cures for us.
That's-
You stupid some bitches.
Do you know where that came? TJ brought that up in my last live. That he's been telling them about the transgender mice. Just mess with them.
Transgenic mice.
I mean, we had a good laugh. They don't get it. They don't see the thing about it. They don't know where the tax dollars go, but they're cool with getting their checks
Right.
from the government. They're cool getting their disability. They're cool getting their SNAP and all that. And I don't begrudge them it. What I begrudge you is that you don't understand how it works, and you think that if you take it away, only those people you don't like don't get it. And it don't work like that, folk.
I have a saying, and I've said this on several lives. You voted to hurt someone else. You voted for cruelty. You voted out of hate. But one thing is for sure, and two things is for certain. When the rain falls, it's not just on one house.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So
So it's gonna hurt us all. So it's like my goal is to, work locally and within my community.
right.
See, I don't know if you know where Little Village is, but I'm right on the edge of Little Village. I'm in a Greystone. I'm doing a tote garden on my back porch. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that me and my small community are okay.
Okay.
Right. And so that's what it is, because we can't move forward till it kind of bottoms out, and we don't know how far it's going to bottom. My biggest fear is that these are all signs of not a recession but a depression. When you start using the word stagflation,
Yep.
that's one step toward a depression.
Now I'm not going to stay on too much longer because I don't want to I don't want to dominate the conversation, because I will, and I do apologize. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. I'm enjoying
I
it.
have this doc, and it's called Venture Capital Extremism. And when I was talking about how the dodgeballs are coming from all, from all directions, this speaks about how they basically, if anybody remembers, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel were owners of PayPal. PayPal's complete purpose was to replace the US dollar with digital money. And what they're doing now is basically they're purposefully tanking our economy so they can replace it with the crypto. That's why they have this sovereign wealth firm, and I think they did something with a crypto reserve or something. And what they're trying to do is make network states. So we won't be a country anymore. It will just be a whole bunch of network states. And if you pay attention, he's also trying to make company towns too. So it's like, once I read this document, it's like everything that's been going on is making so much sense. And I've been looking for more and more information on it, but everything that I'm looking for leads me back to Peter Thiel's book, The Diversity Myth.
Yeah.
So you have the venture capitalists, you have somebody, they want this to be a theocracy, a technocracy, autocracy, what is it? I mean, it's just all the ocracies that you can think of instead of a democracy. They don't believe in a democracy. They want this right-wing white nationalist network states. It scared the shit out of me once I read it, and it's like it's because it's like now, since they've been successful so far with what they're doing, I don't see a way for it to stop.
I don't. Yeah, it's.
I don't think they're going to get that far. I really don't.
I don't know if they can get that far.
I mean, but when they started going and hacking those systems and everything and taking over everything, I was like, the alarm bell should be ringing. This should have been,
They should, but I'm worried about the thing about it is that the Federal Reserve, that's a big system. You'd have to destroy the entire Federal Reserve banking system to do that. But even with the Depression, you couldn't do that. I mean, that's the thing. I know what they want. And this crypto thing is basically, I think, is a grift. But I see your point. Peter Thiel is a weird-ass dude.
Have you read? He wrote a paper in college about how he would take over the United States government. And I think he's pretty much checked off a lot of those boxes already.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say to that is, I've seen some of his work. I've read some of his words. They are, I mean, if you were writing a Bond villain, there you are. That's Peter Thiel.
What they're not taking into account, though, is the people. How are the people going to take to it?
I think one of the things is to keep throwing things at us to exhaustion and resignation.
It's not going to work. It never has worked.
I mean, these are people that have never really ever been told no. They live in these little unrealistic bubbles surrounded by wealth and privilege. So they don't understand the will of the people because they've only, they're privileged.
Exactly. And that's why I think it can't. That's why I keep thinking they can try all they want, but you can't rule a people that doesn't want to be ruled. And Americans do not like being told what to do.
I definitely don't like it, but, try to explain that to Trump. He's walking around thinking he's a damn king.
Look, that's why I'm single now, because I don't listen.
Exactly.
It's like I've been married long enough. It doesn't work like that, honey. Trust me. Trust me.
If they think that they can control 340 American people, or 340 million American people, and turn us into serfs, they're fucking crazy. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
Hey, JD.
Is anybody here in the military, or have served?
Okay, so
this is my question, and I promise I'll stop after this. I thought that there was an oath to protect this land against all threats, foreign and domestic. Now I know that Hegseth is the I thought about him and saw that ugly tacky ass suit. Um, I know that he's the Secretary of Defense. I know they got rid of all the high-ranking 4-star generals and everything, but there has to be somebody somewhere that can see this threat. When are they going to step in? Can they step in?
T, you're a former military. You can answer this probably better than any of us in this panel.
Yeah, that's complicated. It's complicated by two folds, right? It's complicated because Trump's first go around, he had what, 2-3 impeachments, right? So you got the theatrics with that, and then now, so far, he hasn't done anything to where, it goes against the Uniform Code of Military Justice. He hasn't given out any orders for them to do anything wrong, right? So the only thing they really have right now is a court martial, but he got rid of the JAGs, right? So this one's a tough one. He's going to have to do something that's drastic in order for them to pull him out. They don't want the optics of, the Democrats marching in there and yanking him out of office because that's the way the story will be told. He's got to do it his own self. And I know somebody's working behind the scenes waiting on it. You got people like,
they're letting him break enough stuff, so they're like, okay, hey,
exactly.
That's enough. Okay, that gives me a.
They're waiting for the illegal order, like, okay, I want you to fire on citizens in the United States on American soil.
And then they'll be like Kevin Hart.
Invade an ally.
Yeah, they'll be like Kevin Hart did and say, "Gotcha, bitch."
Got him.
Yeah,
I just hate that. I mean, it's like, I'm in a blue city, and we have a Democratic governor who I'm really starting to like a lot. But
Pritzker's cool with me. He's gonna stand on business.
Oh my goodness, he's dope. But it's like I still have like this fear because like I said, where I live, when Tom Homan came here, I live literally like on the dividing street between my neighborhood and Little Village, which is a Mexican neighborhood. If you're from Chicago, you've been here,
Yeah, we got one of those here. Well, the thing with the military, they got this slogan, right? When we were there, it's called "Hurry up and wait."
Yeah,
right? They get you to hurry, and then they take their time because they want to be, right about everything that they do. So that's what they're doing now. They're hurrying up, gathering information, and they're just going to wait.
And I live right by 26th Street. You know where I am.
Yep.
And it's like when I say it's a bustling community, street vendors, like flea markets. And when all of this stuff happened, right, it was like a ghost town. And I felt so bad because I'm like, these people aren't doing anything but trying to provide for their families and live.
Yeah.
It just is terrible.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the one thing we'll know is that they're finding out it's costing too much money. They're stopping using military aircraft to transport immigrants. It's costing like $30,000 a shot. They're running out of money, and they're going to have to get appropriated. So good luck in Congress. They can't even get together to buy a stick of gum, let alone anything else.
Well, like I said, it's those two special elections coming up, so
that would be
that would be
great.
Make it their business to get out there and vote.
And then we lost Sylvester Turner, but from my understanding, they have to replace him with another Democrat. So
good.
Maybe there is a fail safe somewhere in all of this madness. But right now, we've lost our good standing globally with this man, and I don't know how we can ever come back from that.
That's gonna take decades to rebuild.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, Auntie, you said it yourself. When I first got on, you had said something. You were talking about the infighting, right? These guys, it's going to implode from within because every last one of them want to be the strongest person, the most, out there in the news or whatever, right? Most power. They're going to start taking each other down. Like that lady sings that song, "I never thought the leopard would eat my face."
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only been what, 3 months? You give it 6 months, and this thing will implode like nobody's business.
It's already
And
happening.
it's
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
I mean,
already
and
it's in
been done.
process
especially
now.
Have you guys, I don't
and
like, I wish I had a
especially
translator. Have you seen the videos of the Russian state media and they were talking to Putin? I don't know if it's real, and I would love for it to be real because that would be just delicious. But he's on camera, and from my understanding, the translations at the bottom were saying that, um,
He ran a train on his wife. That's what
yeah,
that's what they
oh
said.
Lord.
that he had Melania every which way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean that kind of tracks because remember, right after he was elected, he posted all those indecent photos of her, and he didn't say anything. You could hear a rat pissing on cotton. He was just that quiet.
I'm sure he's got more.
Woo. Wow.
I mean, it's welcome to that world. It's the sad thing about it is that Trump took away the dignity that is to govern. And people don't understand when there's a professional way to govern, but that disappeared because people like a show.
But he
They
did
want a
that.
show.
He did that with January 6th. If you really want to be
Yes.
honest.
It's a dog and pony show. That's what I call it.
Yeah, this is the
Um.
biggest "Hey, look over there" that I've ever seen in my life.
I
Yep.
mean, they're not discussing any real business. It's just basically Trump and Elon Musk. They're just keeping up drama. That's all. That's all it is too. There's no real
So
business being discussed. They're just keeping up mess.
I see
This
Kim's in the corner. Hi Kim, how you doing? Sorry.
I'm good. Yeah, one of the things
Okay.
that caught me today is that he's going back on his trade stuff again, his tariffs,
Isn't that beautiful?
and he goes back and forth and back and forth, and you know, people
He's
don't
getting
know which way to
pumped.
look anymore. It's like a tennis match.
It's like a game of chicken, and he flinched.
But
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Canadians aren't backing off. The
Oh no.
Canadians are saying, no, we don't believe you. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. So Trump said, okay, fine, I'll raise tariffs on dairy 250% and lumber. Because he's trying to outdo
Young
them,
Lord ain't
but
going for that.
and he's
But
trying to
don't
scare
he
them. But
get
the
a lot of
Canadians are
lumber?
going, yeah, the Canadians, let me make it clear about the Canadians, and I've said this is a fact. You know why we have the Geneva Convention, right? Because the Canadians in World War I, they don't play, and they're nice people, but he pissed them off,
Yep.
really pissed them off, and but here's the thing, they're bright people, knowing what they see with Trump. They know what Trump is, and unlike us, and they know how to poke him. And the point is, they can survive longer than we can. It's simple as that. They know it because they got support from Europe.
That's what
We
I was
got
just about
nothing.
to say. That's what I was just about to say. At this point, I know a few days ago it was some discussions of Zelensky coming back, and he was supposed to apologize for what I don't know. I don't know, but he doesn't need us. He doesn't need anything from us because he has the world standing behind him now, as
And
as
then,
he should.
Well,
Go
he
ahead.
needs ammunition, and he needs all that kind of stuff, which is what we were providing. And I think they took away some of the other military security, the stuff that they were supposed to be providing him.
Intelligence and
That's it, intelligence.
satellite surveillance.
But they
Yeah.
weren't trusting him with I don't think they were really going to trust them like the United States intelligence anymore because of Tulsi Gabbard. She's a liability.
Yeah, good point.
So,
So
but
now
I
they're going
don't
to
think
get all their intelligence from the UK, I believe.
right. And so here's the thing: they can't. It blew up in their face, and it blew up in Trump's face. That just turned into a disaster because the rest of the world was ready for this. That's the difference this time. This is round two. They know what they're dealing with. And the good thing about it is that also, as good politicians like Macron, like Trudeau, they know their shaky political future, which was going on at that time, has been bolstered by Trump. Justin Trudeau was basically dead on the vine. He called for an election, right? because he thought he was done. It doesn't look like that anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like he may get reelected. Why? Because he stood up to Trump.
Yeah.
And everyone's behind him. And that's an unforeseen circumstance, and they will ride that thing if it means protecting their political ass too.
Yeah, but he
No
resigned.
offense, it's the truth.
Along,
He resigned though,
alongside
right?
the tariffs, he's threatening to attempt to try to make Canada the 51st state, which is,
That was a
I
joke.
mean, this
That
is
was ridiculous.
this is like, I'm telling you, this is a fucking glitch in the matrix, y'all. That's what it feels like to me. Like seriously, that's what it feels like. Like you woke up and
I
it's
know.
like, wait a minute, the butterfly effect
Yeah.
or something. Like what the fuck is going on?
I mean, deja vu, and that's a glitch.
So how does he do
Um,
that, Will? Since since he resigned,
Go ahead.
right? Talking about Trudeau.
No, it was one of Mike's live. He had a Canadian listener come in, and I asked her that question, and she said because he didn't call for a snap election, he called for elections coming up in April and May. He said that we're going to have elections in April and May because he's going to run out his term.
Gotcha.
He didn't need like what they did. It wasn't so bad the only way it could be bad and call a snap election if he got a vote of no confidence in Parliament, which he didn't.
Right.
But he's calling for election because it was getting bad. So she explained it to because I had the same question. Why didn't he go snap? And he goes, he doesn't need to. It gives him time to bolster up his support, but he knew he had to do something or it would have gotten worse.
Right.
So it's a little different cat.
Yeah. Well, it probably helped him too when he declared Trump a clear and present danger.
Yep.
I'm sure that helped him a lot.
Yeah, and that goes back to the other military question. If military leaders are told, okay, Trump says, okay, you must now invade Ontario. I mean, that's that's an ally. If he gives that order, will they do it?
No, absolutely not. Because that goes against everything that is out there.
Wouldn't that be the opportunity they're looking for to
That would
jump
be
on
the
him?
exact opportunity to say, "Hey, whoa, buddy."
Okay. Then let me reverse it. Mexico.
Well, see now
See,
what he
he
he's
could
doing
pick a fight with
yeah,
Mexico, couldn't he? If he says it's a cartel move.
because he has designated the cartel a terrorist organization, but Mexico says, "Don't bring your ass down here with that crap." So
All right. So if it's a soft invasion of Mexico, I mean, they crossed the border. That's an invasion. Period.
yeah,
End discussion.
There is
absolutely.
no
My
soft
question
invasion.
is,
It's either they're invading or they're not.
say again?
I don't know what the hell a soft invasion is. It's either they're
Soft
invading or
invasion means
not.
this. It's that, like when you invade a country, and forgive me, Tucker, I'm probably speaking out of turn. You're going to go all out. You're going to have like air bombardments. You're going to soften up it, and then you're going to push across the border with an objective. What they're talking about is moving some troops across the border, secure the border on the other side to protect it from smugglers, immigrants, and fentanyl. So they wouldn't move all the way to Mexico. They would control maybe 20 to 30 miles beyond the border. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, thinking that the Mexican government will accept that. Kind of think about what Putin did when he moved into Ukraine. He moved into those Donbass region, correct? Till he got stopped. And so that's what he's looking, because that's what the first move was, so-called to save the Russian-speaking people from the awful Ukrainians. This is what Trump would do and take Mexican territory to protect the United States.
That's what he would
Not an
want to
all-out
do.
bombing.
Yeah, no, that's
But
what he would want to do. They're not going to do any of that.
because I
They'll draw
don't think,
plans on it, but
but how would that look? I mean, because that's what I'm saying. If they told military units to do that, they probably would, because they would consider that an objective, right? T. You
Yeah, I
still,
mean, yeah. No, I'm here. I had it on mute because the dogs were going crazy.
okay.
No, they're not going to do that. They would put down arms. There's no way in hell because Mexico is our ally. We don't fight our allies.
Right.
There's no way in hell
And
that's
it's
going to
Wouldn't that
so
have
it
to be
would
a
be.
declaration of war?
Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
happen. Exactly. Yeah, it would have to be if I could talk, a declaration of war, and there's no, there's no there. Um, no,
Okay,
Trump
so
just needs
let's.
to change his freaking diaper and go sit down somewhere. I've had it with this dude.
And
He is insane. He's not going to invade Mexico. He's not going to invade Canada. He's not taking Greenland. He's not doing any of that. He's not going to Gaza. He's just throwing all of this smoke and mirrors out there to get everybody all frantic while he grifts and grifts and grifts as much as he can before he gets his
Literally
fat
just
ass thrown out of there.
he's just throwing shit at the wall and trying to see what sticks, to be honest.
Exactly.
I think he knows he's going
okay.
to get thrown out eventually, and he's just trying to rape us as fast as he can while he still can.
So it goes. So let's go ahead and kind of extrapolate this. Greenland is a joke. He's not going to do that. He can't. I mean, that whole thing. He's going to be. I think he said that in the State of the Union address, and people can tell me it's a congressional address. I don't call it that, but he said that Greenland would be ours one way or the other. Dude, you really just want to declare war on Denmark? That just. I mean, that made no damn sense.
On NATO?
Basically, and then here comes Panama. What the hell is Panama? This canal does not belong to the United States. We helped build it, but I don't get this craziness
Panama
with
belongs to
him to take it
BlackRock now.
back.
And
BlackRock
Will,
just
Say again,
bought
sir?
and
Panama.
wait a minute, Will, don't forget, remember he wanted to change the title of Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. And I'm like, what?
He had already done that. Kind of.
Yeah, Google agreed to him. I
Yeah,
mean,
kind
it's
of.
like
Yeah.
My
kind of.
understanding
I'm
is
like,
it's
that
only
makes no
like a
sense.
it's only like 100 miles of it that
Right.
it can be called that, or it is called that. I mean, it's like, do you guys remember the movies from the 80s? Remember the big privileged bully like Biff from Back to the Future? That's what I
Yes.
think of when I think of him. He's Biff.
Yeah, he's something all right. Him and Pete.
Yeah, he's
Pete took off, I think they said 120,000 service members named, men and women, because they
Wow.
thought they were DEI. And there's a ship called something gay, and they said they have to rename the ship because the ship is gay. I'm like, what the fuck is going
no,
on?
no. I'll tell you what it was, T.
God.
It was the Enola Gay.
Enola Gay,
Yes,
yeah.
Enola Gay, right.
The Enola Gay, and that was not that. I mean, the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. Those who don't history, and they want to remove it because gay. No, gay meant it means happy.
Exactly.
Okay,
Well,
and that's what the ignorance we're at right now.
well, see, the bomber, the Enola Gay, was the pilot. Colonel Paul Tibbets was the pilot,
Hmm
and he named the bomber after his mother, Enola Gay Tibbets.
It's just, and so they do that. Again. I saw that. I'm going. They don't have any sense of history. They have no sense of anything. They live in this weird ass bubble that it's so hard to get around. I mean, the Enola Gay has nothing to do with woke or whatever your bullshit is today. Nothing. And you're getting rid of history because it fits your agenda? Also, to top on that, Tucker, they're getting rid of pictures in the United States Archive of black soldiers, black service people
Yes, they
who
are.
have served the
Women
United
also.
States,
Yep.
and also did historical moments.
Yep.
What does
And
that
women.
have to
Is
do
this
with this
what they would
so-called DEI
consider?
bullshit?
Nothing.
Is this
Go
what they
ahead.
consider a paper G side? Is this what that is that what this is considered?
What do you mean?
You know, from my understanding, when I was looking at the definition of a paper G side, is basically erasing the existence of someone, of a certain group of people through legislation and, the denying of, basically the denial of their existence.
Yes, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they're
I
doing
haven't heard that before, but yeah, that's what it sounds like.
the women in the
Go ahead, Kim.
military, I mean, women leaders in the military, in NASA, and any of that. They're erasing all of that too. So it's it's minorities, it's women, it's they're getting rid of it all.
Which is like, this is to play on what Auntie is saying. That's 1984. If you read the book 1984, Winston Smith's character's job was to change history. He would write things, change things as per he instructed, and then he would send it out as fact. And that's what we're getting on right now. But you can't, see, that's what I'm saying, you can't erase it. You can't do it. Not these times of digital. People remember. It's there. I mean, the purpose is this is such an ignorant purpose I don't understand. What purpose is this to erase the history of people who contribute to the United States, no matter who their color or gender is?
Well, I'll tell you
What's the
this:
purpose?
they can erase our history, but Germany hasn't forgotten it, because I saw Trump today on his knees on a float behind Vladimir Putin. I thought it was great.
And it frustrates me because history, their idea of history doesn't fit. European history is not American history. It's different.
No, I
It's
tell you
totally
what,
different.
See, Temptation has it exactly right. This dude has dementia to the third power, and he's just pulling strings and forgetting he's pulling them and all this other crazy shit. Somebody just needs to sit him down.
Yeah, he definitely
Okay.
is showing signs of that for sure. I mean, just his speech, he mumbles, how he mispronounces words, how he forgets words, how he leans forward. I mean, there's so many different things that, like See Temptation has pointed out, and it's there. If you watch him, it is definitely there.
I mean, it's not like he's 55 years old, right? So that could be 100% possibility.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah. But see, that's the thing. He's pushing 80. It's going to be 78 soon.
79. He's already 78.
Wow. And the thing about it is, like, he ain't looking good.
No, he's gone downhill even since he took office.
And the one thing there's a thing in like baseball or in sports, and I refereed soccer. The one thing they don't want to know is your name or what you're doing when you're refereeing or umpiring. Your job is to do the job and don't mess with everything around it. Just keep it flowing. Every day Trump has a press conference. Every goddamn day. I've never seen why. Why does he need this all the time? Because it's all the same shit.
You gotta stroke
I've
the
never
ego.
seen anything like, yeah, but it's like, I don't want to know you exist. See, the problem is with all these people, they forgot the term what a public servant means. You serve us. Well, I don't serve you. And it frustrates me because that's not what our government it should be, but they convince enough of us that we are like that we should be ruled. But that goes back to what the JD said. We're cantankerous. We don't like that shit.
Not at all.
We don't accept it.
They can come down here and start with me.
No, and that's the thing. What I've always said, when push comes to shove, because I'm just waiting when the first Social Security checks don't show up.
Yep.
When vets can't get service. Because, I mean, is it really true, and Mike said this, that 60% of veterans voted for Trump?
Yeah, absolutely they did.
Okay.
But they're on Capitol Hill. They're on Capitol Hill now, saying how sorry they were for making that vote, because he's saying one thing about how gracious he are for the vets, and he's doing the polar opposite of it. So they're finally starting to wake up now. Everybody's waking up. It's too late.
Everybody's waking up. That's just the thing. We have, unfortunately, like you said, hurry up and wait. Could you guys stop it? My cats are fighting. Sorry.
That's okay. It's a fun song.
Yeah. Stop it.
Now, I don't know how this is going to work, but did any of you hear today that he's going to put sanctions on Russia?
That's just the, you
Yeah.
know what? That's just a gesture because a
Exactly.
few days ago I was listening to him talk about how he's going to lift the sanctions that were on Russia. So it's
Exactly.
all it's just smoke and mirrors. Like I said, it's a big hey, look over there.
He
That's
got,
all it is.
what it is he got bad press because he lifted the sanctions, and so people started shitting on him. And then he said, "Oh, I don't like that reaction." And then he says, "Okay, we'll put him back on," trying to save face.
Who's the senator? Is it in Kentucky? Tennessee, I mean Tennessee.
Marshall Blackburn.
No, so it wasn't him. This has got to be. God, I'm trying to remember. I forget his face, but he was talking today about tariffs, right?
Was it Lee? Is it Lee something?
It could be. And he was saying, when I'm down there in my district, they're not one farmer is telling me how great tariffs are. He
Oh,
said,
that was Rand Paul from Kentucky.
was that Rand Paul? Got it. Yeah. He's like, not one
Okay,
industry.
that guy.
Yeah. He finally opened his big mouth and said something right for once. You know what I mean? He was like, farmers are not asking for tariffs. Manufacturing is not asking for tariffs. Nobody's asking for tariffs. So that this could possibly be the reason that they're having some infighting, and he's switching his mind because the constituents are finally getting through and not the paid ones, quote unquote. And they're saying, hey,
That was hilarious.
it still is
And
hilarious.
so that, but here's the thing. It's as we discussed before, China's not moving. China's not buying any agricultural goods from the United States. That's a lot of money. Cash crops rotting.
Is it true
I
that over
mean-
$1 trillion has been lost already because of his flip-flopping?
And speaking of Taiwan, have you heard? I was looking at something with China. This is gonna get this is a shit show, guys, because I was looking at something where China said now they're finally in a position where they can reclaim Taiwan.
I've also heard that they're backdooring Taiwan and trying to bring them in peacefully, because they're basically showing that the United States isn't going to help you, and we can be one China again. If they do that, I don't know what happens.
Well, we'll know soon. We'll know soon one way or another, because from my understanding, it's only a certain, like maybe 2 times a year that China can actually even like take ships over to Taiwan. And it's in the spring and in the summer, or our spring and our summer. So
That would be-
it's just a lot of things we
That
just
would be
kind of have
ugly.
to. Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just hoping that doesn't get to. See, that's the thing. We're waiting. All this is happening as spring ramps up, and that means things get more active. You can do more stuff as winter ends.
Yep.
My biggest, I'm just hoping that the implosion continues here before something happens out there that forces the United States into some weird action that we're not prepped for.
I don't see. I think that's honestly inevitable, because at this point, we're like sitting ducks. Like we're just this island all by ourselves, so to speak. So it's like, right now, I don't think anybody's sharing intelligence with us. We're not sharing intelligence with anyone else. So we're just pretty much like sitting there with a blindfold on.
Yeah, and
Damn.
hoping he is not drunk on duty.
Oh, he is always drunk. He always has a drink.
Yeah.
That brings us back to something that we talked about earlier, is the absolute capitulation in a lot of ways of the Democratic Party. It's just not even the censorship of Al Green, which I found to be absolutely cowardly of those 10 Democrats, but the Senate going along with a good amount of these cabinet picks is pathetic. Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. I think we're kind of lucky that Elon Musk is messing with everything, because he because he's got them all riled up right now, and they can't do what they want to do in there. But once that ends, I don't, all bets are off at that point. That's going to be an issue. At least that's the way I see it right now.
I
So
also saw
go
something.
ahead.
I also saw something today about Trump told the cabinet members that they were in charge of their own departments and that Elon Musk was not, and that they were to look at their own people as to who they should let go.
As long as somebody's being let go, though, right?
Yeah, but they were supposed to. The new thing is Trump wants them to use a scalpel, not a axe, is the way he put it.
A little too late for that.
What happened was that the transportation secretary and the State Department secretary were both really angry at Musk because, like, the FAA was losing people and planes were falling out of the sky, and then he kept firing people, and so that guy was really mad at him, and, like, from what I understand, the cabinet meeting ended up in a screaming match, and then finally Trump just said, you know what, fuck it. Elon doesn't tell you what to do.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I
also,
did.
You know what? Because he talks out of both sides of his mouth all the damn time. It's like he'll say that publicly, but then tell Elon privately, "This is what we're gonna do." I mean, these are not like upstanding people to trust anything that they're saying, even to each other. So, like you were saying, the implosion is coming soon because, from my understanding, a lot of his cabinet, they don't like Elon.
No, none of them do.
Things like that. So, I mean, it's like we just kind of as in The Color Purple, just sit back and see what color the wall gonna be.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is like, go ahead, JD. Sorry.
They're not going to last long enough to take over the country like they want to. They're going to eat each other alive before that ever happens.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that in the report, go ahead.
I'm sorry, guys. I was just about to say I am a middle-aged stoner, and it's time for me to do a little gardening.
Okay.
And but thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
No, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for following me. Appreciate you. And
all right.
we'll talk to you soon. I really appreciate your input and everything. It gives us good perspective for everything.
Thank you. You can drop me down so it doesn't mess up your live.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Amber. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so one thing I was going to bring up is that in that article for the New York Times, which was leaked, people just couldn't wait to tell some of the press that Elon was basically yelling at the cabinet members, you need to fire more people. And that's just insane. And the cabinet, the secretary guy, the state secretary, is saying, your people want me to fire air traffic controllers. I got planes fall from the sky. What are we supposed to do? It's crazy. I don't get these guys. And you're going to cut 70,000 from VA? Good luck. See what happens. Isn't it? Didn't he cut the suicide line already?
Yep, he did.
Suicide prevention line?
Yes, he did.
And it's just, I don't. It was going to be bad. We knew it was going to be bad. What I didn't know, it was going to be like this. And I don't know what Elon Musk's end game is, other than trying to gather every government contract under the sun. Yeah, but he's not going to benefit him. He can't win overall.
He just had a second rocket blow up.
That was hilarious. And you know why? Because they had to put out a warning because the pieces are everywhere in Florida and they had to delay flights.
They delayed flights at 4 different airports. Fort Lauderdale, the 2 here in the West Palm Beach area, and I think Miami.
That's insane. And why is he? Go ahead.
I'm just sorry I wasn't out there at the time it went off to see it. Because if they closed down West Palm Beach Airport, I probably would have been able to see the debris.
Oh, that'd have been fun. Hey, Jules, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Doing good. One thing I wanted to bring up, I saw that Trump has put an executive order to start increasing timber production or clear cutting forest. And I'm like going to replace the lumber coming that we're not going to get from Canada. He does know that if you cut a tree, it takes a while to make 2x4s and 1x6s. Or I'm just being dumb here, other than destroying the environment.
Well, you also have to have the facilities to do it. I mean, you just can't automatically go to somewhere and say you're going to take a tree and turn it into a 2x4. You have to have the plant to do that, the facility.
Put together sawmills and stuff, and that takes a while.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with such a incompetency. It's just crazy. Jules, what's on your mind tonight as we're here?
Well, it's a little bit off the subject. I was kind of typing in the comments earlier about what we've been talking about, but have you guys heard about this? It's the first guy that was executed by a firing squad in South Carolina, prisoner.
Oh,
well, I missed that wonderful tidbit.
Yeah, it's a method he chose, but I didn't even think that was a possibility anymore. Yeah. His name's
He chose it.
Yeah, his name's Brad Sigmund, and he was executed tonight about 6 o'clock, I guess, South Carolina local time, by a firing squad. First time in 15 years.
Yeah, Mr. Suave just said he requested that.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
I didn't know that. I thought Utah was the only state to allow you to request how you wanted to be executed.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't know that was. I didn't even know that firing squads were a thing, to be honest. But yeah.
Oh, how would you like that duty?
Yeah, 3-person squad.
I mean, you know how they do that, right?
only
one person has a dummy.
Yeah.
One person has a blank.
Yeah.
So you can think that you probably have the blank when you pull the trigger, but
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
Welcome back to
anyway, little off topic.
Whatever. Ooh. No,
Yeah.
but it's like it's not on. It's off topic. It's on topic because we kind of like talk about backsliding in less than what? In less than 3 months, we kind of backslid into some weird ass ancient history that we kind of got around. I don't know.
It's just all the craziness that's been going on everywhere.
And the thing about it is too is like that. What was that lady in Ohio at the Mexican restaurant who was upset because her wait staff was Mexican?
Yeah,
and wrote a note on the receipt.
Mm-hmm. I've been reading about that too, but I did hear a follow-up to that today that she not only lost her job as a realtor, but then she tried to go do a GoFundMe, and then people reported her, and that got taken down.
GoFundMe for what?
Because she lost her job. She needed some money.
Okay, yeah. But if you go to a Mexican restaurant,
right,
there will be Mexicans there serving you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like going to a Chinese or Thai restaurant and going, why are these people Chinese or Thai?
That's right.
It just, I mean, but see, that a lot of these people think they're going to get away with it. Yeah. That's part of the blowback with, I remember years ago when Trump was just coming up to speed. And, oh God, what was the name of that show on NPR? She did it every afternoon, and it escapes me. But sure. She had say again.
I'm not sure. Can't help you.
Yeah, it was Terry. She was in Boston. God, that'll come. Someone will probably remind me. Maybe if you see it in the comments. But she had a gentleman who followed neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups. And he was saying that prior to Trump coming up into the public eye, they had gone under. They literally had gone under. They were under rocks. They didn't want to come out because the backlash was so big. but Trump gave them legitimacy. So now they're back. And as you can see, what the circumstances are now, it's even more.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They are emboldened.
Yeah.
You need to put them
And
in a box.
that's the thing. They came out knowing that they would be protected, and they have been protected.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy on TikTok. I don't know what his handle is or his name is, but he gets videos in or pictures in from people who have had someone bully them or yell at them or because of them being a minority and things like that. And he'll put the videos up on his video and ask the community, do you know who this person is?
Oh, Tizzy N.
Yeah, that's
Tizzy N is. Yeah.
And he'll get people responding back. And a lot of times when he does the update, these people who have done the bullying are fired by their companies. And it's amazing how many people he outs by this. It's really
and it's kind of, I mean, we got the typical Karen. We know that. I've run across a couple. But it just seems they're more oh boy. So I just been flagged for hate speech. Are you kidding me?
They're more brazen, don't you think?
Yeah, they're more brazen. No, I just got a violation saying we're talking hate speech.
Oh. So
yeah, we're just
we're
talking about it. Well, wow. I guess that means I'm popular. And someone's going to do that.
I haven't been
so
seeing Trumpel fucks in the comments.
No, they're just going right to the violation thing, and there we're at. So it's a warning. They haven't pulled the plug. So it's amazing that what they're going to do here on TikTok. But I know it wasn't you, Karen. And who is joining me at this time?
WKRP.
Oh, hey, brother. How you doing? As you quickly clack. Hey, partner. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
No, I'm doing good. We were just talking that I got a hate speech warning a moment ago.
No.
Because we were talking. Yes, go ahead.
WKRP and
No, you know what, Binder? I know a lot of people pick at you, man, and that's why I be telling you, man, don't worry about these folks, man. They're gonna believe what they want to believe, you know.
No,
just as you out there on the, you know, you got your bootstraps on, you're letting people know. That's all you can do, bro. Let them say what they want to say, because they ain't doing it, you know.
Yeah, I know, and I do this mostly because I'll be honest with you guys. Go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
No, yeah, I mean, I do this because honestly, it's like mental health for me. I do the videos because it pisses. I just need to do this, and it kind of is a release that people wanted to hear it or follow me. I'm glad, cool. And I've gotten a lot of people who feel the same way I do. And some people telling me, hey, thank you for speaking your mind. It's just that I couldn't, I've always spoke my mind, and it's gotten me in trouble. Because I can't stand by and listen to stupidity. People are dumb sometimes, and you need to call them out. And it's just, I'm glad I do it. I'm glad this platform's here. I'm glad YouTube's here to let us do it. To get a warning tells me I must have poked someone well. I take that as a badge of honor. Now, hopefully we can get through the next 3 minutes without me going the way of Mike, who's been banned. I guess he can do it again now, right? He's released as of the 6th.
Yeah, he's till the 6th.
Say again, Kim?
He was till the 6th, right? So he should be able to go back.
Yeah, to the 6th. So he should. But what I like about, and what's going back to the things that I had gotten to a confrontation with the one guy is like, I say this because I think this is the only way I can really help, if that makes sense.
Well,
Protesting all that. I'm 63, my knees are shot. I can barely walk to the store and walk around the store.
well,
But if I can, go ahead, Judy.
if putting content out there and holding these lives for people to discuss is what you
Right.
can do to help the cause, and
Yeah.
that's great.
And
Will,
And
Yeah,
I
man,
think
I love it. I
Go
mean,
ahead, Kim.
I like how you get on them.
Will,
I said, I
Thank you. I
love how you
appreciate it.
get on them, man. You make me laugh.
well, I'm with you, Will, because I can't get out and do an actual protest. I can't walk to my car without getting out of breath because of all my health
Right.
issues. So this is being on these panels and talking and letting everybody, put out there what their concerns is. That's the only thing I can do.
Right.
You know,
And the thing about it, it's good. Because I'm gonna, because like I said, I was gonna go to 10, and because I have to be up early for work. But I'm gonna bring one last thing up. That the reason that you're watching Trump back away from a lot of this stuff, he's feeling the heat. The Republican Party is feeling the heat. People, they may say that it's paid actors or not. They hear their constituents. They hear what's going on. They're backing off. And that's because
Yeah.
people are reacting because it's and I said it a long time ago. People will put up with a lot of stuff, but don't fuck with my money. That's my money. And when you start
Yes,
taking
sir.
my money and using my
Yeah.
money for someone else, I'm going to get upset. And then you're going to turn around and say, no offense, ladies, bitch, where's my money? And I want my money. And then you're going to go Stewie on them if you ever seen The Family Guy. And I think that's where we're
Yeah.
at right now. A lot of people are turning around going, where's my money? And Elon Musk is going, don't worry, I'm going to keep you for safekeeping. No, it doesn't. It's like, again, I'm a big movie guy, but you remember The Dark Knight when he's pointing at the guy? You know, he's a
Yes.
squealer. He's taking your money. All right? See, that's the thing. I don't trust him. He's taking my money, and
No, I don't know.
I want my money
Yeah.
back. And the
That's
point
right.
is like
Who
him
wouldn't?
taking the money puts people in so much suffering. They don't have no idea what they've done to people, and they're about to find out. And those who have voted for Trump are about to find out. And as Auntie said before, they're going to get burned. They're going to burn. And then the
Yes,
rest
sir.
of us are going to sit there and wait.
That's right.
And then we're going to the next step and see what we're going to do
We
overall.
just gotta wait for the right time.
Yeah. And I think that
That's it. That's
whenever I
it.
talk to Trucker
Right.
and when about the military, I trust the military to the extent that it's not the dystopian world that people have written. I don't believe that. I think they'll stand up for the Constitution. Same thing for the intelligence agencies, the FBI agents, the DIA agents. They're too committed to the Constitution to give that out, to give up.
That's right.
And that's
That's right.
when we all
That's
go,
right.
then at that point, when they sit there and go, help us, I'm not going to go and say, no, we can't. I'm going to say, okay, stand behind us. Now we're going to unfuck this thing. And that's what we have to do. Maybe I'm being more optimistic than I should be, but I think the American people are just too cantankerous to lay down and die. We don't play that,
That's
and
right.
we haven't.
That's
I
right.
mean, and if it takes pushing Teslas
Yeah.
into Boston Harbor, I'm down with it. So,
Yes. Cybertrucks and all.
so
You're right.
I see way too
so-
many of them down here.
say again.
I see way too many of them down here.
Who?
Uh-oh.
There was
They're
a Tesla
ugly.
dealership somewhere burned to the ground. I don't know where that was.
No, it was a Tesla charging station with the batteries went up in smoke.
That too, but there
It was.
a
Wow.
dealership somewhere.
Now I have a Tesla
I
dealership
mean,
less than 3 miles
go
from
ahead.
my house. Yeah, it's the Tesla dealership is less than 3 miles from my house.
That's disgusting.
And then one thing is that
Hey
I
guys,
saw.
you know what? Oh
Yeah, yes, sir. Go
no,
ahead.
I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I was saying, you know what? When you said the military, I said you're right because you know what? I'm counting on God. And I'm counting on the veterans. The veterans, those guys, man. Woo! Trust me, they're pissed. They
You
are.
know, the
You know, because
message
you fired
there.
so many, and they are. Wow.
And he's giving them lip service, and they're gonna. What I'm seeing in less than 3 months, Trump has done a lot of damage. We can't get around that. But also,
Yeah.
what I'm seeing, he's finding out that this time we're ready, and we're just not going to accept it. As simple as that. No one's accepting it. The world's not accepting it. And basically, they're saying to the American people, yeah, you're going to have to figure this shit out because
Yes,
we
Lord.
can't deal with this. As simple as that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this, end this tonight, but I want to appreciate everyone who's shown up. All you guys who follow me, thank you. I'm glad that you come on here and give a voice. I'm glad that we can talk together and kind of work out our own psychosis, because sometimes it is. All you guys, take care of yourself. Be safe. I'm going to put this live up tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube. Check it out. And please be safe. And remember, all those out there, we're all Americans together, and we'll figure this thing out, because that's what we do.
Yes, we
So
will.
you guys be safe. Please take care of yourself, all right?
Okay. Good night, everyone. See you later.
All right.
Night,
You too,
everyone.
man. Good night. All right.